we forecast ahead, or if we look ahead, what is a future proven strategy for organizations, businesses? Because obviously you touched upon it that you need great leadership, but I mean, you work so much with research and your job is also to try to look into the future. What do you think are, the future proof of success?
Well, that's a key question. And I mean, I've spent quite a lot of my life working on various types of strategic models and things like that. I have unfortunately come to the conclusion that much of that classical, should we say, strategic dogmas is not relevant. You have a SWOT analysis, you have market share, you have Porter's 5 forces, and God knows what you have or not. It's probably not all that relevant. You have strategic planning focusing on that. You could plan till you're green in your head and you still are not making business. I think to develop should we say, in contrast, a strategic culture is much more important. And I'm just in the process of finishing a book on that, which is coming out. It's done. It's being edited right now. I have 9 factors that I think are particularly important. And I don't want to rattle down all of those, but things like, speed, ability to deal with risks, ability to get in, out, long, short, cycle management, ability to network, ability to be, should we say, honest, ability to not be too greedy, things like that, I think are much more fundamental in developing should we say, a healthy strategic culture than this dogma that we have been grappling with in much of business and much of academia for the last 50 years.
For people who want to learn more about your work, what's the best place to start? Is it to read your first book, your last book, your articles? Where do you send people who are listening right now and want to learn about this?
You will not like my answer to that, but I've written more than 30 books. I find them rather boring. I don't look at them again. But for me, it's much more important to all the time ask, where am I now and what am I looking forward to do? To look in the back mirror means very little to me. So if I were you or you readers or you listeners, I guess, I would look for this new book that's coming out a few months from now. Another book that you may be interested in is one that came out was published by IMD, of all things, a few months ago, which has to do with new views on strategies for family businesses. I believe more and more, Christopher, that family business is more and more important. It allows you to think more long-term, be more detached from the whimsies of the stock market, quarterly earnings, etc. You don't need to worry so much about that. So good strategies, I think, increasingly have to do with non-public companies. So you see that with Amazon.com and et cetera also.